grown-up world, will a strong statement, President Obama supposedly made a strong statement. Nobody heard it. That statement was not acceptable. Didn't get very much play, relatively speaking, but that statement was not acceptable. But I let him know we can't have this. We're not going to have it. And that's the way it's going to be.
There's President Trump describing how he talked to Putin behind closed doors and pointing out what he sees as, well, failures, too, in that interview on the part of the Obama administration in confronting election interference. Former House Speaker Newt Gingrich with me now. Sir, good to have you back on our program here. You wrote a piece at FoxNews.com. Here's the headline: The Truth About Trump, Putin, and Obama. It's a good piece. What's the truth?
Well, look, I felt compelled to write it. As you know, when the president misspoke the other day in Helsinki, I immediately tweeted out that it was a mistake, the biggest mistake I thought of his presidency up till now, and that he had to correct it immediately. And within 24 hours, he gave a pretty long talk in which he, frankly, got out, I think, pretty well got out of what he had said at Helsinki. Helsinki was just a mistake. He was too enthusiastic. He had spent too many hours with Putin, and he was just sort of rocking and rolling. And you can't do that when you're the president, because the whole world is watching you. And when you make a mistake, the whole world shakes and shudders. And I hope that the president's learned something from that. But I wanted to write this particular op-ed at FoxNews.com, which is also my newsletter, to make the following case. It's a really two-part case. Part one is, by any standard, Trump is tougher on Russia than Obama ever dreamed of. He's expelled 60 Russian agents from the country. He has closed 4 Russian offices. He has imposed sanctions on over 100 Russian individuals and companies. He has provided offensive weapons to the Ukrainians, which Obama always refused to do. So when you go down the list of actions, Trump has been much tougher on Russia. And he also, by the way, at NATO said, increase the amount of spending, whose only purpose has to be to have a stronger NATO to contain Russia. He then said to Merkel, the Chancellor of Germany, exactly correctly, don't buy natural gas from Russia. You're giving them hard currency. No, all of those are steps to weaken and constrain Russia as a country. And I think in that sense he gets a bad rap. But the other side is the Obama people who have been the harshest, Brennan, for example, who used the word, I think, traitor or treason, Jim Clapper, who was the director of national intelligence, Comey, who basically said nobody can vote Republican and be a patriot in one of the, I think, nuttier tweets of the year. All of these guys failed. They were the people responsible in 2016, not Donald J. Trump. He was a candidate. They were in charge of our national security. They failed, and they're now hysterical in trying to get us to look at Trump rather than look at them. It was their failure. They didn't do their job. And I think whatever the Russians got away with was because of the weakness of the Obama administration.
You also offer a prediction. You think Helsinki will be seen as an aberration, meaning the press conference itself and its appearance. It's had a lasting impact on a lot of. I mean, it's created quite an impression.
Sure.
So how then is it an aberration from this point forward?
Well, this is, look, the implementation phase of President Trump's foreign policy is what we're now getting into. We're getting into it with Korea, with North Korea. We're getting into it with China on trade. We're about to get into it with Russia. We'll find out over the next 6 months or a year. My prediction is that the American system will be remarkably tough, that we're going to pay attention. You don't get guys like Secretary of State Pompeo, who graduated first in his class at West Point, Secretary of Defense Jim Mattis, 4-star Marine General, Chief of Staff John Kelly, 4-star Marine General, National Security Advisor John Bolton, one of the toughest guys on foreign policy in the entire country. These guys aren't going to get together to drink the Kool-Aid and pretend either that the North Korean dictator or the Russian dictator are nice guys. And I think the president overall, this is my guess, the president's going to keep implementing policies which are tougher and tougher and tougher. Now, we'll find out. But I think that Trump is a guy who likes to be friendly. He likes to be positive. But he didn't get to be a billionaire by being stupid. He also knows how to make sure whether or not you're delivering on the contract.
Mm-hmm. A lot of those people you mentioned were in the front row on Monday as well. Sir, it's great to have your insight. Check out The Read online right now. Newt Gingrich,
Hey there. Subscribe to my channel. And also press this bell icon, so you never miss any new updates, cause whenever we upload new video you will get a notification on your phone.